Is that okay? It's a hard topic, eh? The moment you try and talk about it, you're just put into this political minefield. Where do people, women like me, go? We fall through the cracks. And it's hard to talk about. Sometimes it still shocks me. I tried to take your life. I never wanted kids. I never wanted to start a family. I was one of those girls growing up that shied away from babies. I didn't play with dolls. I played strategy games. I remember I would break a sweat if someone tried to hand me their baby, just assuming that I was female. I would know what to do, or at least enjoy the experience. Times have changed. But really, I had no maternal longings at all. I mean, of course I had dreams and ambitions, but none of which included starting a family. I'm not sure why I didn't feel maternal or nurturing. Maybe it was because of my own childhood. The family I grew up in was very broken. It was a mess. They left me, abandoned me. I was a child rejected. But it was a pretty interesting juxtaposition though, my family, because it's not like we were poor. In fact, my parents were active in the church. They were traditional, conservative. They were even invited to start a well-known megachurch overseas. I won't say the name, of course, but it is famous. My parents were at the top of their game when it all went wrong. They had everything: money, status. They even owned a large manor with prime land in Auckland. Eventually, developers came through and they paid a handsome price for that farm. It's now known as Botany Town Shopping Centre. But by that time, though, my father had already absconded with all of the funds. I last heard he had remarried in Shanghai. And my mother, well, she was left broken, and she was taken away at risk for trying to take her own life. And well, I had to grow up pretty quickly. In fact, that old house I grew up in went up in flames. I was sort of relieved, I guess. You know, it was a bit like a metaphor of my own life, and that was finally closed, and I never wanted it to be open again. Nailed shut. Ashes. It made me sure that one thing, I didn't want to go through that myself. And nor did I want anyone else to. I didn't want my own child having to run through broken glass and run away from a pointed rifle gun at her head. So when I found out that I had an unexpected pregnancy, I screamed in agony, like I was opening that old door to the house again. It was a blood-curdling, stomach-churning scream. And I was that frightened, abandoned little girl, not knowing what to do. Oh, you think it's simple? No, it's not simple. That's the audacity of life. It's not an unhappy customer or even a bad day or something you can tweak. It's not like art or music. This is life-defining. And I knew it. You cannot pull the trigger on a loaded gun and expect there not to be consequences. But as I look back on that time, That miserable time, I'm haunted by my own battle I went through, my own guilt, plagued by it. Motherhood. To be or not to be.
Is your muse, the artist, the actor? I have a gift for you, Misoprostol. You would have to give up anything. Sarah, your real name, isn't it? Just do what is right. It will be back to normal.
Fine. I'll do it. Maternity ward, please. Well, the next day I'd scheduled my abortion. I had gone through the consultations. From my calculations, I was probably about 10 weeks. So they offered me pills to shut down the pregnancy. You know, I asked the nurse if I would see anything if I take the pill. She made it clear that it was hugely possible I might be able to see the fetus, that is. Anyway, the nurses don't usually do this, but she sent me for an ultrasound scan to date the unwanted pregnancy. I remember I entered this dark room, and it was just me and the sonographer. She was pleasant enough, and I was anxious. And I remember her, when she found the heartbeat, casually saying, "It's a strong heartbeat. It's a good heartbeat. Healthy." And in the lead up to my scheduled abortion at the hospital, I kept on rereading the pamphlets fanatically, familiarizing myself with what to expect. But the day before my abortion, I was panicked and in my room. I prayed and cried. This was still not easy for me. Not an easy choice. My name is Sarah Clermont, and I have an appointment at 4:30 tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, first trimester. Oh no. Oh, listen. I won't be able to come tomorrow. I won't. Yeah. That's okay. Thanks. I can do this.
You'll regret that.
Please don't look at me cruelly. Like, how could she? Even after abandoning the abortion, I was still reeling. I was cursed to ask every day, what if?
Dancing in the dark with me again. I charge you as guilty. Shame upon you for even thinking about an abortion. What if he finds out? Your boy Your son, you didn't want him. What if he finds out his own mother didn't want him? And you haven't even thought that you won't have time for your dreams of music and acting now, will you? And what if he has a miserable life and you have subjected him to it?
Misery is all I have. It's all I've got. It's my story.
There can be no fairy tale ending to a wannabe's hero story. We all face death. What if we face it sooner rather than later? Wouldn't it be better to spare him from despicable humanity, hurt, pain, regret? It would be better not to live at all. Any of you. You cannot see beyond the grave. Even flowers bloom in cemeteries, but I shall lay you into the biggest secret of my world. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I shouldn't, but I want you. You look so beautiful tonight. It's your human fragility. It's your weakness. It's intoxicating for us. Even your distant God loves the broken, but this is why we are so attracted to you. You cry and have feelings and pain, and your pain is your heart beats with the essence of life. It tells us you're alive. You have feelings and tears, and I'm almost jealous. What breaks you makes you more valuable. What have you forgotten?
How do you know that something would turn out this beautiful? Life is always a risk and a sacrifice. It's a hold your breath, take the leap, and hope like heck it works out. But sometimes to have the most fun in the river, you gotta go through the rapids. You know something though? Even though I needed my options, the very thought that I wanted to end his life weighs heavily on me. But that's healed. Instead I get joy, wonder, turbulence. And I get the family I never had.